Greetings and welcome to Pickled Watermelon Rinds, a guilty pleasure podcast featuring Antie Joan and Ontie, providing our zesty and marginally mature take on current events, pop culture, and trends. Now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Well, hello, Auntie Joan. Happy
Hi.
Thursday. How are you?
Oh, my goodness. Happy Thursday to you too. Well, you know what? I mean, I'm doing okay, but
Yeah,
well, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, I say that because I've had a couple things come up. One of them was my tooth,
Mm-hmm.
tooth 29. No, yeah, tooth 29.
229.
It was about a month ago. I went and chomped down on a piece of gum and it just like, oh my gosh, it hurt.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, that kind of feels like in the past when I've had a tooth, like a filling or a crown or whatever that was too high, set up too high, I would get this little bit of pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, let's just see if it kind of goes away. And
Right.
after about a week, it did get better.
Okay.
But I thought, I really should see the dentist anyway because it wasn't all gone. And I'm thinking, is this an abscess or, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So then I make an appointment to go to the dentist. And that's when I thought I was getting a cold or a flu or something because I had this weird sore throat come up.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was from your tooth.
No,
Oh.
no. So I canceled that appointment.
But how did you feel better, Auntie Joan? How did you make yourself better from the sore throat? You did my
I don't.
mom's remedy.
Oh, gargled with salt water.
Warm salt water.
Warm
That was my
salt
mother's
water.
cure for everything.
Yes. And for the tooth too, because it's good for the tooth too.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
it's a
is.
2-in-1. Yeah, so I felt better, but I had still canceled the appointment. So anyway, this week I went to the dentist and he thinks it is. He thinks that was just the tooth had shifted a little bit because it's the tooth right next to a tooth it's an implant.
Mm-hmm.
And he said there's space there between the implant and the tooth, which is common, I guess, for implants in the mouth. So that gives room for the tooth to shift and stuff. So he ground it down a little bit and it feels better,
Great.
much better. But he wants me to come back Tuesday just for him to check and make sure it's okay. Otherwise, he thinks it could be a root canal failure because that tooth had a root canal in it years ago, which I didn't remember if it had a root canal or not. So anyway, the x-ray that they took, oh my gosh, it was horrible. I almost couldn't take it because those x-ray things that they put in your mouth anyway hurt.
Yes.
They're that hard plastic. And why after all these years they haven't come up with a workaround for that. I can't believe it. They can put a man on the moon, but they cannot find a way to make those more pleasurable or at least tolerable.
Right.
So I had the cyst over on the other side of my mouth a few years ago. So when this tooth shifted, I thought, oh my gosh, is that because of a cyst down there? Is there another one coming up? So I told the assistant that. And so I told her, I said, we probably need to get a x-ray that shows down past the root.
Right.
So she stuck that thing in and oh my gosh, you need to bite down. I can't bite down. It hurts too much. Oh, I said, isn't there something you can put on there? Whatever. And she got, those cotton gauze things and she just kind of buffered it with that, but it still hurt. But anyway, I was able to do it. So he thought, that it looked okay. The tooth looked okay. The root looked okay. But, we'll just see. But so far, so good.
Oh, okay. So it was the taking of the images that was awful.
Oh,
Not the
yeah.
images themselves.
No, the taking of
Okay.
it.
Got
Oh.
it. Got it.
And then at the bottom of the root was this little black circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at it and I said to the dentist, I said, that's not a cyst there, is it? He said, no. He said, that's just an x-ray anomaly or whatever. You get little dark spots here and there when they do the x-rays. So, and then he went on to tell the assistant how I had diagnosed my own cyst, how I knew it was there before when I came in. And he's quite taken by that, I guess.
Oh, very nice.
So that gets taken care of. And then yesterday I go to meet Sandy B
Super fan Sandy B, Sandy B, Sandy B.
for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I put on these shoes, nice, comfortable little flats. And I'll be damned, the top of my foot started hurting like crazy. And I get home finally and I look and it's kind of swelled up a bit. So I'm thinking, I think it's gout again. And when I've had my last blood test, my uric acid count is on the higher end. I mean, it's not way off the track, but when I'm not having gout attacks, it still is kind of on the high side. So I need to look into that and get that uric acid count down. I drink enough water that maybe it's the diuretics. I don't know. I'm just a mess.
I tell you, did you get your tart cherry juice? Doesn't that help?
Well, it used to work with Larry, but I tried drinking that and it's kind of hard to take.
Can you dilute it with a little bit of water? Was that?
I guess that would work, wouldn't it? It sure would.
Yep.
Because I don't want to put a couple teaspoons of sugar in it. That kind of defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it?
It does, yes, indeed.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Yes.
Thanks
I
for
actually
the tip.
passed along that remedy to somebody else because based on you telling me that's what Larry would do. So if you tell me it doesn't work,
I think it really worked for him. Okay. His gout was like, he would be laid up. I mean, he could hardly walk. It was so bad with him. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Larry was he's not one of these guys that would say that having a cold was worse than childbirth, but so he wasn't one of those. So it's not like he was making a bigger deal than it was.
Right.
So.
Now, did he drink the tart cherry juice regularly, just in general, or once he had gout? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a preventative, I guess I should ask.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
But he was also on that albuterol or whatever that was, which is supposed to have some really bad side effects.
What does that do?
Oh, I think it's got something to do with the kidneys or the liver or something. Yeah, but it's supposed to help fight the gout, keep it at bay or whatever. So
Gotcha.
So that's my stuff. That's my excitement.
Jiminy's.
What up with you, sister?
So I was upstairs the other day. I don't remember which day. Was it Tuesday? It must have been Tuesday. It was Tuesday. And I was actually doing my little walking video thing. And I happened to look out the slider. And I was like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, that's an elk.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I said, oh, my God, the elk are here. But I was still doing my video. I couldn't.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I couldn't. I was towards the end, so I'm like, please stay here, please stay here, please stay here. They didn't wait for me. And I say they because it was a freaking herd. And there was even a buck with only half a rack of antlers. He must have gotten into a fight or something. He only had one-sided antlers.
When do they drop them?
No, it's too early for that.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm just
so you had a buck, bow-buck, huh?
Yeah. And then I took out my phone because I was going to tell my neighbor at least. And I had a text because I don't have the alerts on my text. And I had a text from him as I'm still doing this walking video. I'm trying to text him. And he had texted me saying, are you home because you got a herd of elk in your yard? So he sent me some pictures, but they weren't that great. I would have gotten really amazing pictures. And I was like, that's okay. If they're anything like last year, they'll come back tomorrow, same time. They haven't been back since.
Oh.
I'm very sad. I really thought that their migration pattern was going to include my house for a few days at least. And nope, I missed them.
Yeah, see, you got to grow those pumpkins so they'll come by and feed
I
them.
had a pumpkin on my front stoop, right in front of the garage for... Oh gosh, I didn't throw it out until long after I got back from my trip to see Haysi, and nobody touched it. Not a single animal came by.
Well, they respect your space.
I guess so. I mean, I didn't throw it into the woods for them to eat, but it was out there. Now, granted, I was actually happy they didn't, only because I had 2 of those LED battery-operated candles in there that I didn't want them to eat. And because I meant to actually bring it to your house before I left to put it in your composting.
Oh.
And I forgot, and I was pulling out of the driveway. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to get that now. I gotta go. I gotta go. So I left it there. Like I said, the whole time I was gone on the trip, and it was already like shriveling and all that. And
Hmm.
nobody took it.
Hmm.
And so I put it in, I actually just ended up throwing it out because I wasn't going to put
Hmm.
it in the loamy. That was too much effort to cut it
So
up and
where
put it
were
in the
the
loamy.
LED lights?
Inside the pumpkin. I just left them on so they would light
Yeah.
up at night.
Yeah.
And I just didn't, I didn't want a deer or a
Oh,
moose
no.
or an elk or
Yeah.
whatever to eat the LEDs. So I'm happy that nothing really did. But no squirrel even nibbled on it. Nothing. It was fine. And I was
They
like,
could
all right,
probably smell the LEDs.
probably. Maybe. But that was my excitement this week. We had visitors, or I had
Wow.
visitors.
So what was like a herd? What is that, like 5, 10?
Oh, no, like 25.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send you the picture he sent me. Yeah, it was
Oh my
a
gosh.
ridiculous. Oh, I'm on airplane mode right now. I'll do it when I get off. Yeah, he took a video too, but maybe it'll come through better for you because anytime I get a video from an iPhone on my Android, they come in really small.
Hmm.
Oh, and I did look up
Wow.
those ear pods
Yeah.
that you told me about last week, the translating ones. They only work with iPhone.
Oh,
The translating. I mean, you can use the
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, the AirPods with other, Android devices, but if you want the translating, because there's some software or something on
Mm.
the iPhone itself that it works with.
Oh, well.
Yes, but the ones that I did purchase, the cheaper ones, I mean, I'll know after this trip for sure, but they seem to be fine so far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think they'll be okay.
It's not like you're a sound engineer where you have to have.
No, the most important thing to me is noise canceling.
Oh, okay.
Because on planes, sometimes you can't, because the ones I got before were the ones that didn't actually sit inside your ear. It like wrapped around, just like laid on your
Oh.
ear.
Mhm.
And I can't use those on planes. I can't hear what I'm trying to watch or listen to at all because of all that noise. So the noise canceling just helps with that. So yes, but these should be fine, I think. I hope. We'll find out.
Boy, that's exciting. I thought you were going to say that there was a mountain lion or something that came around. But wow.
No, herd
A
of
whole herd of
elk.
elk.
Like I
Wow.
said, they came by last year, but they came by for days, about the same time every day. They came by and all that. And so that's why we thought for sure. But I never had a buck here. The buck never. I saw him last year once over like a little ridge, like past my neighbor's house, closer to the ranch behind. And I saw him walk, and I was like, oh, the buck. And hey, he had the full rack. And I was like, "Oh my God, please come here, please come here!" And he didn't. He just walked back through the woods where I
Bastard.
couldn't see him. There was no way I could get a picture or anything. And I was like, "Ugh." So to see a buck actually here at the property was kind of cool. But
Wow.
and at least I got to see it. I got to see it. Nobody else did because I didn't get to take pictures. But I was like, "Oh my God, please stay!" And I saw them starting to meander down through the woods. I'm like, "They're gonna be gone by the time I'm done." I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, it's too bad you couldn't have paused the,
No,
the
you
video.
can't. No, I wanted to finish. I was so close to being done.
That would have been
well.
so.
Yeah,
That's
I think I had
enough
like
for
5 minutes left in the video.
Oh.
And I was like, come on, just wait 5 more minutes. But apparently they had been there for a little bit because I did catch just a few of them on my backyard cameras, but not
Oh,
the
so
full
you
herd.
so you have them on your security cameras.
If I had the fucking camera that's right outside my slider turned on, which I did not, I would have probably caught more of the herd, but I had it turned off. I must have turned it off one time when Kelly and I were out because it makes a noise on my phone every time we make moves or whatever. So I usually turn it off if we're out there hanging out or if I'm doing stuff out there or whatever. And I never turned it back on. Dope. So yes, I'll send you what I have. Like I said, hopefully the video that my neighbor sent me will come through better for you. But you can see how many there are for sure in the video.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, you're just
Fun
living
stuff.
in a wonderland. You got the turkeys, you got the moose, you got the elk. I mean, there's people that would spend thousands of dollars just to, fly out here to see all that.
They can go on safari through my woods.
Yes.
Sounds
There you
sexual. I couldn't make the tie though.
Sounds like a good retirement. Build a little B&B on your
Yeah.
adjoining property. Or no, build your own house and then turn your current place into a B&B.
I don't know where you think this magic money's coming from. It sure shit ain't from this podcast.
No, it's not. But you're sure shit finding ways to spend it.
Not house building money.
No, just travel the world.
Just travel the world. That's right. That's the goal. So I saw Claire Danes on the Seth Meyers.
Oh.
And she was talking about a new movie. New miniseries. I take that back. I apologize. That she has done for the Netflix with Matthew Rhys. And it is called The Beast in Me. And I like Claire Danes and I like Matthew Rhys. And I said, I will watch that. So I did. And it's about, I'll read the little synopsis from IMDb. It says, author Aggie Wiggs, who's Claire Danes, grieving the loss of her son, finds new purpose unraveling the mystery behind neighbor Niles Jarvis, a.k.a. Matthew Rhys, vanished wife and his suspicious dealing. All right, first I have to start with Matthew Rhys because I just adore this boy so much. First was introduced to Matthew Rhys when he was on Brothers and Sisters. It was a TV show. I don't know if it was ABC or NBC. I want to say ABC for some reason. And it had Callista Flockhart, and this was after her Ally McBeal series that I was really into. So she was my draw. Oh, and Sally Field was in it. That she played the mom.
Oh.
So I really liked the series. It was a bunch of brothers and sisters. I forget how many kids there actually were. But Callista Flockhart was siblings with Matthew Rhys. And I think they had another boy and another girl. I want to say it was 4 kids. Adults. They were all adults, clearly. And like I said, Sally Fields was the mother. Anyway, so Matthew Rhys in that show played a gay man. So I thought Matthew Rhys was gay because I apparently hadn't grasped the concept of acting back then. I did not quite understand that people, act and play a role and don't play themselves and all that wonderful stuff. Because the next show, and I don't remember what it was that I saw him in, I was like, but Matthew Rhys is gay. And then I'm like, oh, his character was gay. He was gay. I think it was exactly, I had heard that he had married, so it must have been about the time The Americans came out, because I had heard that he married Carrie Russell. And I was like, married Carrie Russell? No, Matthew Rhys is gay. And I hadn't seen The Americans at that point. So anyway, I finally put it all together in my pea brain head and was like, oh, that makes more sense now. Okay, got it. And then I watched The Americans, and they were both so good in The Americans. And so I've been a huge fan of Matthew Rhys ever since. And I've seen him on talk shows. He's been on Seth. And he's a Welshman. And everything I've seen him in, he's actually had in English. Although in The Americans, he also spoke some Russian, but that was part of the character. I don't think he's a Russian. I learned, people. I learned.
He was acting.
He was acting. So anyway, I loved his portrayal in that show. And like I said, I saw him on Seth Meyers. He's funny. He's got a really thick Welsh accent. He's just, I adore him. And he did a wine tour thing with another actor called Matthew Goody. I don't know if you pronounce the E at the end or not. And they just toured around and drank wine and got stupid and all that stuff. I only saw clips of that. I never actually watched the series because I think it was on something I didn't have and I wasn't buying it. Yeah, I just love him. And he is not that in this movie or in this miniseries in any way, shape, or form. He is creepy and disturbing and he's
manipulative.
And Claire Danes, I do really like her. I could not get through Homeland. I know a lot of people loved Homeland. I tried it and it didn't stick with me, unfortunately. But like I said, I know so many people who just were so into that show and just loved it. My brother was one of them, as a matter of fact. He loved
Me too.
Homeland. You were okay.
Yeah.
For some reason it didn't stick for me. I don't know why. But her character in this, as the little synopsis indicated, she's a writer. She had a best-selling book like 5-10 years before, and they never really reaffirmed it, but they made some quip about her winning a Pulitzer. So I think she did win a Pulitzer for the character, won a Pulitzer for this, for the original book. And she was struggling to write this new book about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and her time in, I assume, the Supreme Court. Maybe it was all her backstory too, but it had been done so many times.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Scalia. That's right. Her relationship with Scalia. Thank you. And it wasn't really going anywhere. It was taking her a long time. Plus, she had a really traumatic event a few years before that. She was driving in the car with her son, and they got into a car accident, and her son died. I'm not giving anything away. This all comes up in the very first 2 minutes of this show. You do know about that right away. She was married to, the character's name was Shelley Morris, but Natalie Morales, who has been in a bunch of stuff. If you saw her, you'd be like, oh, I know who she is. She was in Parks and Rec. She was, what's his name? Aziz Ansari's girlfriend there for a little bit, and definitely at the end of the show as well. I think they end up getting married, honestly, on the show. I mean, in the show. But she's been in a ton of stuff. She usually plays more of a secondary character or, supporting actress than she does lead. Although she did do a lead TV show for a little bit. I don't remember the name of it, but I don't think it lasted very long, unfortunately. Anyway, she's very good. I like her anyway. She was married to Claire Danes' character, who was Aggie Wiggs, but they ended up getting divorced after the accident with the son. So Aggie Wiggs was living alone in this house in the Hamptons, I believe. Of course, they never really said, but that's where I put them, at the Hamptons. I was getting very confused as to where they were, but I believe it was the Hamptons. And it was a fixer-upper, and she had lots of issues with the house. And then Matthew Rhys's character, Niall Jarvis, moved in next door into this ginormous mansion thing. And Claire Danes' house was big too, but like I said, it was needed a lot of work. And Matthew Rhys's character's house was big and opulent and spectacular. So they meet in weird circumstances. Matthew Rhys's dogs get loose. They're guard dogs. They were shepherds, yeah? Were they shepherds?
Yeah, I think so.
And they came over and were barking at her windows at her dog, her little tiny little thing that she had. So they came and got the dogs, whatever. And then they brought over some wine to basically say we're sorry and all for the dogs. And so she's all pissed off about the dogs again. So she brings the box of the wine and she brings it back over to Matthew Rhys's. And she's talking to his current wife, and why it was interesting for Matthew Rhys to be moving in across the street from her is because he was a suspect in his wife's disappearance year. Like, right? Wasn't it about a year before?
Oh, I think it's
more than that.
I think it was longer than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so it was an unsolved mystery as to what happened to his previous wife. And of course, he was a suspect, being the husband and all that crap. Anyway, she marches over with that case of wine. It was like, I don't want this. I don't drink. And they're like, or I don't drink wine. That's what she said. I don't drink wine. The current wife was like, oh, okay. And Matthew Rhys's character comes into view up the stairs. And he's like, oh, you should come up when you need to come up you need to come up and sit with me or whatever. And she's like, no, I'm going to get going. I don't want to be here. She's, really, he was trying to put in a jogging path through the woods that would have crossed over multiple neighbors' property lines. She was the only holdout saying she didn't want that. And he sent out not a non-disclosure, but an agreement, a legal agreement for people to sign. And she was the only one who hadn't. So he's like, why don't you come up? We'll talk about it. And, come upstairs to my office and we'll talk about it. And she's like, no, I'm going to get going. He's like, give me 5 minutes and come on up. And he walks away and she does it.
I know. And that was the beginning. He had control. Yeah. He had control from that point on.
I was so disappointed with her character. I mean, literally yelling at the TV going, don't go up there. I'd be like, fuck you. I said I got to go. I'm going. Like, you don't dictate to me that I'm now, oh, yes, sir. I will be right there, sir. No, hell no. Antie Joan had a very valid point to this. What did you say to me the other day when I quipped about that? You said it would have been a very short show, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, it would have been a very short show if she hadn't gone up.
Valid point. And he does that to her a little bit. They go out to lunch and he kind of commands her to do something there too that I didn't appreciate. I didn't appreciate that dynamic. And then you get more into the story and you find out lots of different things, you know, not only about what really happened to Matthew Reese's first wife, but you also find out things that happened with that accident with her child, with
Yeah.
Claire Danes' child. And it was twisty and turny. I had my ideas that maybe he wasn't the prime suspect. It shouldn't have been the prime suspect in his wife's murder. And then something else would happen. I'm like, well, maybe he is. I'm like, no, I think it's that. I think it's that. I know. I got it. I know who. And then I was wrong the whole freaking time, people. Let's just put it that way. It was entertaining. It's a lot of episodes. I want to say it was 6 or 8.
Oh yeah, at least 6.
At least 6. And they're about an hour each. So it is a semi-time commitment, you know, just do it back to back to back to back. But I think I did 4 in the first night and then watched the last 2 the second night. But that was like the first thing I turned on the second night. I'm like, I want to know. I wanted to stay up, but I thought it was like going to be like the last one. So I was like, all right, I can make it through one more. When I saw there were 2 more, I'm like, no, I'm exhausted. I need to go to bed. So all in all, I thought it was fairly well done. I liked the little twists and turns throughout it. I like seeing Matthew Reese playing something so the antithesis of his actual personality. And I thought Claire Danes did well. She stutters a lot in it, which bugs me a bit. But for the most part, I thought she's just a good actress. I don't know what to say about that. What was your take on it, Auntie Joan?
Oh, well, Matthew Reese kind of gave me the creeps. I've never really liked him. There's something about that man. I don't know. There's just something about him. Now what I need to do is do some research and see some of these other things he's done where he shows his good side, where he shows his personality and his humor and all that, because I probably am basing all this on roles that I've seen him in, because I did watch The Americans for a while. And I just, I couldn't, this is going to sound horrible, but they were just too skinny. Gary Russell and Matthew Reese were just too skinny, demure little people. And I have a problem with that. Probably because I'm a Amazon, my own self.
No, you're not.
But Claire Danes, I like her. I liked Homeland. Mainly because I liked Rupert.
Can't help it. I didn't watch it.
He was my main reason for wanting to watch it.
Okay.
I didn't like the guy at the beginning that she was married to. He also played James Bond, didn't he? Yeah. Anyway, you looking it up? See who my Rupert is?
Trying.
Rupert Friend.
I want to see
Rupert
who he is,
Friend. That's who I liked.
Familiar to me.
Yeah, that's who I liked watching. Damian Lewis was the other guy that I couldn't stand. I can't stand looking at him either. I don't know what the deal is.
Mandy Patinkin was in it.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was
Mandy
her.
Patinkin.
He was her
handler.
Yeah, her handler. Yeah.
Okay.
Starting to watch this, The Beast in Me. The first thing I thought was Claire Danes does such a good job of playing such a tortured woman. You know? She's got that down. It did get a little tiring after a while, and it just really upset me how much she gave in to his manipulations. That just really, really torqued me. Yep. Pissed me off.
Yep.
And she's supposed to be this independent woman. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I agree. I thought that bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I wonder.
And she gets better later in the movie. Or the show.
Yeah,
it is 8 episodes. She gets a little bit better later on. But at the beginning, she was very acquiescing to him, and it just bothered me.
Yeah.
A lot.
Especially when she went in there with guns blazing.
Right.
You know. And then he says, well, give me 5 minutes. Oh, okay.
Right. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I thought it was good, though.
The story was good.
Yeah, like you, I kept thinking, well, no, he wouldn't have. No, he was okay. He wouldn't. No, he didn't. he didn't disappear his wife. And then I'm thinking, well, yeah, he probably did. And then, well, I don't know. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely kept you
so
on the edge of your seat as to, not necessarily edge of your seat but every episode, I think I flip flopped. Every episode as to who I thought had killed his original, or at the time we
Yeah.
only knew that she had disappeared. The likelihood that she was killed, because the assumption, so because he wasn't convicted, they could never find anything to stick
Yeah.
to him. The closing assumption was that she committed suicide. The body was never recovered, though. So that's why they called it a disappearance and not necessarily they were investigating for homicide, but the assumption was that she was dead. But they had no evidence because they didn't have the body.
But then he remarried Brittany Snow,
Yes.
her associate or her
Yes.
admin person.
And
Yeah.
I didn't like her character until the very
No.
end.
No.
And
Yeah.
then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, and your Better Call Saul dude was in it.
Oh, yeah.
He was the father.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Banks
Yeah. Yeah.
played Martin Jarvis.
Well, he's hard to look at, isn't he? Here I'm getting so
mean?
superficial, but
Oh, I never thought that about him. I mean, I don't think
Oh.
he's like somebody I'm like, ooh, all right.
he's
look
no
at that
Matthew
guy.
Reese,
He's no
right?
Matthew Reese. Oh, I didn't say I thought Matthew Reese was hot.
I know.
Let's be very clear. I said he's a nice guy and he's sweet
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
I think he's not unattractive. He's not for me, but and I'm sure Carrie Russell is very relieved at that. She's like, whew.
Yeah, exactly.
Auntie doesn't want my man.
And Antie Joan never did. So there we go. This marriage is secure.
Yeah. No, I thought it was well done. Yeah. I thought the casting was pretty good.
They had enough going on that it kept my interest and stuff. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and there was a twisted uncle involved in all of this. Like there's so much going on, but not so much where you're feeling overwhelmed, like you can't keep track of shit. I like the way that they did it. I think the 8 episodes helped with that. So you weren't forced to, like we talked about with our last season of that detective that we like, that you got me into on HBO. The tall guy with the limp and the trench coat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The show is named after the name of the character. I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, the last episode, they just threw so many characters at us in such a short period of time that I could not keep track of who anybody was. And this, like I said, has a lot of characters in it and lots of plot twists. But because it was over the 8-hour-long 8 episodes, so 8 hours of content, they were able to really make sure that you were still with them. You could follow what the fuck was going on.
The one I had the problem with was Jonathan Banks' brother.
Yeah, the uncle.
Yeah, I got confused that. I thought maybe he was supposed to be Matthew Reese's brother, but then
no.
yeah, the uncle brother stuff kind of confused me at first, but then I finally got it squared away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it yet, The Beast in Me is one to watch. It's entertaining, plot twists. Hopefully we didn't give anything away here. That wasn't our intent. If we did, well, too bad. It's done now. We're not going to change it.
Yep, there you go.
And there it is.
For all our thousands of listeners out there, we hope we haven't, ruined it for you.
For our listener,
Yeah.
All right, Auntie Joan, anything else for our listener today?
Well, I think we're good.
Okay. I was hoping to maybe report on some snow here, but so far it's darker, but it's also getting later in the day. Sunset's so early these days.
It's kind of cloudy there to the west.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but no snow so far.
Well, it's going to get colder, so.
Yep, it sure will. All right, then. That wraps it for yet another wonderful Pickled Watermelon Rise episode. This is Auntie signing off.
And Antie Joan saying bye-bye now.
We thank you for listening. And remember, when life eats away at your core, make pickled watermelon rinds.